Assalamu alaikum. Let's cook. Elizabeth Oyer recommended clemency for Dylan Roof. People, check this out. This is nuts, but coming from these people is very believable. White American woman by the name of Elizabeth Oyer. Her position was a U.S. pardon attorney with the Department of Justice, or sometimes referred to as the DOJ pardon attorney. Now, this woman here held that position from April of 2022 until March 2025. She was eventually fired from that position in 2025, but we'll get into that later. But when she was in this position, she wanted to spare the life of this mass murdering Mayo monster, Dylan Roof, from execution. She recommended clemency for Dylan Roof, meaning that he wouldn't be released from prison, but he just won't go on death row. He'll go off of that. Now, when she did this, this was a blanket recommendation for 40 federal inmates who were all on death row, not just Dylan Roof, okay? Now, she put this in her November 2024 memo. She seems to be one of those people who was against the federal death penalty. So you all know that when a new president comes in at the end of their term, in her case, it was Biden. That's who appointed her, okay? They start giving clemency and pardons to all these federal inmates or whoever they choose. In response to that, again, in December 2024, Joe Biden commuted the death sentences of 37 of the 40 to life in prison without parole. He declined to commute Dylan Roof, the Boston Marathon guy, and also the Tree of Life synagogue shooter, Robert Bowers. So of those 40, these three, they will remain on death row. So I want you to check this video out right here, people. This is Josh Howley. Check this out.
Standing up and telling your stories. Miss Boss, thank you for being here and for telling us about your daughter. I'm sorry for what all of you have been through. So I want to say thank you and honor your voices and honor what you're doing. Ms. Oyer, if I could just turn to you. You were President Biden's pardon attorney, is that correct?
I was the Justice Department's pardon attorney.
You made clemency recommendations to the White House whether or not to pardon inmates, is that correct?
My job was to make clemency recommendations.
And in that capacity, you recommended that the President of the United States, Joe Biden, grant clemency to all 40 federal death row inmates, all of them, clear them out, correct?
Sir, as I told Chairman Grassley, I'm not free to discuss the recommendations.
Well, that's what your memo says. I mean, we have your memo. Your memo of November 4th, 2024 says, and I quote, disparity and undue severity of sentence, which are present in many, if not all of these cases, have been recognized as grounds for clemency. And you went on to recommend in that memo and a series of other memos that are now recorded and public record that the President of the United States grant clemency to murderers, rapists, and the most horrible offenders, all of them, clear death row completely out. I'm amazed you've been called here today. I'm absolutely amazed by it. But let's just talk about the people who you recommended. You talk about honoring victims. The people who you recommended get clemency and live at the expense and sufferance of taxpayers for the rest of their lives. Let's start with Dylan Roof. Dylan was a neo-Nazi who murdered 9 African-American worshipers at a Bible study in Charleston, South Carolina, 2015. Do you remember this case?
I do remember it very well.
I would hope you did. Here's his victims. Do you want to look at them? There they are. 9 of them at a Bible study in a church, killed in cold blood. The DOJ knew from day one that he had decided, I'm going to quote from the prosecutors, decided to attack African Americans because of their race. He further decided to attack African American worshipers in a black church in order to make his attack more notorious. More notorious. And yet you recommended that he be granted clemency, live at the expense of taxpayers for the rest of his life, substitute your judgment for that of the American judicial system. Do you stand by that recommendation today?
Sir, I'm not going to comment on the recommendations that I made, but I can tell you that Mr. Roof is going to die in prison as...
Oh, he's going to live in prison for a very long time because of you, because of your recommendations. And here's what you said in your memo of October 30th, 2024. You said that actually Roof is not a compelling candidate for clemency, but you recommended it anyway. Why? Because he suffered from anxiety, you said. Right? He suffered from anxiety. Did it ever occur to you that maybe the family of his victims might suffer a little bit of anxiety because he marched into their church and murdered them in cold blood because he was an incredible racist and he wanted to get on TV?
Sir,
Do you regret it?
I'm not going to comment on the recommendations
regret it?
that I made to the president.
Let's talk about Robert Bowers, a man who regularly spewed such vile hatred of Jews. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. He barged into a Pittsburgh synagogue in 2018 and he shot everybody he could find, killing 11 innocent people who were there to worship. A federal jury in Pittsburgh unanimously recommended the death sentence after finding him guilty on 63 counts. Here they are. They're his victims. Take a good look. You recommended clemency for this person who went in and killed these people just because they're Jews. The other guy killed people just because they're black. This guy killed people just because they're Jews. A jury recommended that he be sentenced to death, and you substituted your judgment for theirs, and now he's going to live. Are you proud of that?
Sir, what I am proud of is the fact that I took my job as pardon attorney extremely seriously.
Apparently not seriously enough. You certainly didn't take the victims seriously. Then there's Jorge Avila Torres, who wasn't just a murderer. He was a serial killer and a rapist.
Sir,
Here is who he assaulted and killed. He sexually assaulted and killed 8-year-old Laura Hobbs and 9-year-old Crystal Tobias in a Chicago suburb in 2005. And then 4 years after that, he committed another murder. He slaughtered a fellow service member, Navy Petty Officer Amanda Snell, in 2009 while she was in her barracks. That's what he did. And you recommended clemency for this individual, and now he'll live his life at the expense of taxpayers because you substituted your judgment for that of the American judicial system, jury, judges, the whole lot, and yet you're here to tell us that you're somehow a victim? I don't think so, Ms. Oyer. I think your judgment is astoundingly terrible.
Okay, people, that's Josh Hawley. He's a white man from Arkansas. He's a Republican, and he's digging in this woman, Elizabeth Oyer, for her decision to commute the sentence of Dylann Roof, even though it didn't work out for her. But here's what is important for black people, because I already seen black people in response to this video acting like they're going to pass out, like they want to invite this white man over for peach cobbler and all this other stuff. You know, again, he's a white man from Arkansas. Okay, he's a Republican, just like the other one, that other cracker, Bill Clinton, a white man from Arkansas, one of the most racist states in America. They don't even recognize black people in Arkansas. But anyway, now, he's talking to this woman, okay, but he's using this for his own political benefit. This is a snowball fight, and this is what a lot of black people can't break down. They automatically think they got to sit on the white person's lap or let white people put their feet on their stomach and all this other stuff. This man, Josh Hawley, is grilling her because of what Dylann Roof did. He's a racist as well, but he's using it to her advantage. That's what white supremacists do. Okay, he's a MAGA man. She's a liberal. So what white supremacists do is they take real life black struggle, real life black death and pain, and they use those points in their favor when they're going at each other in their snowball fight, battling for who's going to hold the white supremacist flag, who's going to keep the ball. And they take these points and they go back and forth with them. None of them care about black people. They just debate and argue over who is more of a racist, who is worse. What plan of white supremacy are we going to enact and we're going to go with? That's what they're fighting over. Don't ever think that this man cares about those people at that church or any black people at a church who were killed by a white supremacist male monster. This is the white liberals and the white conservatives. They both do it. The liberals do it as well. You can see all day long these white liberals, you know, using these points to talk about MAGA and Trump. The white conservatives do it too. They'll take something and say, oh, well, look at what you guys are doing. Do they both have points? Yes, when they do it, they both do have points, but they're all racist and white supremacists. And the reason why they're doing it is of no benefit to you ever. This is undefeated. If so, get in the comments. Let me know when it has ever worked in your favor if you are black. Anyway, I mean your people. So don't get this thing twisted, man. This is a snowball fight. That's all it is. We tend to gravitate towards the liberals, of course, because we see that they are the ones who are willing to give more black celebrities and shine bones a job. That's it. They get their job done, with those Greek shine bones and other boule Negroes. So we gravitate to that. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? It's been going on like that for years. But this guy, Josh Hawley here, man, I seen black people seeing this, man, and they were like, well, who is he? I need to be following him. No, you don't. He's a cracker as well, just like the woman. This Mayo monster, she-male, whatever she is, how could you even recommend to take this guy off of death row? Even if he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison, you can't do that to people. People don't want to see that, man. They don't want to see that. That's disrespectful. All because, you don't believe in it. So what? If Dylan Roof can't be on death row, who can? You know what I mean? These people are not speaking in favor of anybody black. They are selfish. They're doing their typical white peopling. They're taking real black pain, real black genocide, and they're debating over which one of them is worse and how they would have implemented this, and that with issues that we deal with for real. These people are all the same. The Republicans, the Democrats have not done anything to protect black people at all. Not even some of the black people's favorite hope presidents. Not your MAGA guys either. You new MAGA Negroes, all you doing is using your imagination. It's never happened for you. And you're smoking opium just like the other ones. Biden and all those other Obama Negroes, the Kamala Harris crew, they made sure that they signed that bill for those Asians. And she told you, I'm not going to do nothing for just black people. But the way our people are sick now, we'll still look at that and make an excuse for it. All the lynchings that our people dealt with. So all the political Negroes that like to argue on behalf of these crackers right here and these khakis, y'all can miss us all with the BS. You're part of the Satanism as well. Now, I'm not talking about somebody who says, I'm going to vote. People can do what they want, but I will never understand black people, political black people who walk around sitting on these white folks' lap and arguing and debating for them. Even the ones who, I'm talking about the khaki ones too, they were just as disgusting, But this woman, Elizabeth Hoyer here, she's getting ate up by this other white supremacist because she did something disgusting and he's using it in his favor. Now, she was eventually fired, but it was only because when a new administration comes in, that's what they do. And a new deputy attorney general named Todd Blanche came in. He just released her, got rid of her, okay? They didn't publicly detail any specific reason, but they just said her time was up. Now, Elizabeth Oyer said she was fired for refusing to recommend restoring gun rights to Mel Gibson. Yes, Mel Gibson in Hollywood. Mel Gibson serves as one of President Trump's special envoys to Hollywood. He has a few of them, these guys right here. And she said that she was pressured to rubber stamp the recommendation. Just say, okay, boom, rubber stamp means, okay, boom, there you go, that's it, and go. They do that all the time in the government, every agency. But she said no, she bucked the system. She said, no, I'm not going to do that for him. And so that was his reason. Well, she says that's why they got rid of her. He says, no, we just got rid of her because we don't want her there anymore. Now, she didn't want to do this for Mel Gibson because Mel Gibson has prior domestic violence related convictions. And which is why restoring his gun rights would have been wrong. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to. So that's why she said, I'm not doing it. So she was fired, and that's what it is. But regardless of this woman's beliefs and how she feels about death row, I think that's just wrong to even include this guy, Dylan Roof, in this, That's just sick. But these people don't value black life. None of them do. They're the reason why everything is screwed up pretty much in the world. It's because of white people like them. And that's about it. People, get in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you know about this. Also, link in the description for my masterpiece, The N-Word is No Secret in the Service. And also the email list. Go ahead and click on that. Get your name on there so that you know where the content is if YouTube start doing their thing. Easy.